Okay, so I had this gun all put together. This wiring is all wired to the back here. There's 3 wires coming out. One is ground. One runs the motor that's in here, so it spins these little guys here. And the other wire runs this motor here, which I've wired into the micro switches that the trigger activates. However, there's also another mechanical thing that this trigger does. So let me see if I can, I'll pull the trigger back and I'll run this motor a little bit. Okay, so you can see one is ratcheting forward, one is pushing it out. And since it's just a motor, it can actually stop in any position. Let me stop it in a bad position. So in this position here, this plunger is still sitting out, and I'm assuming that this would actually get snapped off if this ratcheting mechanism were, you know, turned by hand now, which it normally can be. Now, to solve that, what they've done is when you release the trigger, you can take a look at this mechanism here. It actually pulls back that little plunger, puts it into a safe position. And I'll just do this briefly because I don't know if it'll damage it. Oh, let me tag the right wire here. So the plunger doesn't operate at all if this trigger isn't pulled. So there's some sort of safety mechanism built into this this mechanical stuff in here. So that's the thing. I could rig this so this thing is pulled back so that the plunger always activates, but then I have to be extremely careful that I don't accidentally, you know, turn this when it stops. Okay, so what I've decided to do, this trigger will be held back with a tie wrap or something when it's in the loaded position. So when this barrel is in here, all loaded up and ready to go, this will be held back with something. And then basically when it's ready to be loaded, this will be released to put this mechanism in the safe position, and then this thing can be played with and maneuvered and whatever else, nice and gently. Now the issue is, of course, when this is pulled back, there's only one battery pack here, and these 2 micro switches will both be pressed by the trigger. You know, one activating the motor in the front, and one activating the plunger to actually release the thing. These will both be activated, and of course then, no matter which one of my inputs I activate, both will activate. So what I did here is, I didn't want to do this because it actually deactivates the operation of the gun, but I've clipped the 2 red wires off of the battery terminal. So now this battery box is completely dead. It's not going to work as a normal gun, even if you put batteries in here, unless of course I reconnect these. But then of course my modification here won't work. I guess I could throw in a bunch of diodes and stuff, but yeah, this will work in the short term.